Hello, this is a Spellbinder news report. As you can see, it's Marijuana Conspiracy Reasons Hemp is Illegal by Doug Yurchie. This is a LouRockwell.com story. They say marijuana is dangerous. Pot is not harmful to the human body or mind. Marijuana does not pose a threat to the general public. Marijuana is very much a danger to the oil companies, alcohol, tobacco industries, and a large number of chemical corporations. Big businesses and plenty of dollars and influence have suppressed the truth from the people. The truth is, if marijuana was utilized for its vast array of commercial products, it would create an industrial atomic bomb. The super rich have conspired to spread misinformation about the plant that, if used properly, would ruin their companies. Where did the word marijuana come from? In the mid-1930s, the M word was created to tarnish the good image and phenomenal history of the hemp plant. As you will read, the facts cited here with reference are generally verifiable in the Encyclopedia Britannica, which was printed on hemp paper for 150 years. Remember that. Number 1. All school books were made from hemp or flax paper until 1880s. Jack Fraser, Hemp Paper Reconsidered, 1974. 2. It was legal to pay taxes with hemp in America from 1631 until the early 1800s. LA Times, August 12, 1981. 3. Refusing to grow hemp in America during the 17th and 18th centuries was against the law. You could be jailed in Virginia for refusing to grow hemp from 1763 to 1769. GM. Herndon. Hemp in Colonial Virginia. 4. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and other founding fathers grew hemp. Washington and Jefferson Diaries. Jefferson smuggled hemp seed from China to France, then to America. Imagine that. 5. Benjamin Franklin owned one of the first paper mills in America, and it processed hemp. Oh my God. Also, the War of 1812 was fought over hemp. Didn't know that, did you? Napoleon wanted to cut off Moscow's export to England. Jack Herer, Emperor Wears No Clothes. Read that book, it's very good. 6. Thousands of years. 90% of all ship sails and rope were made from hemp. The word canvas is Dutch for cannabis. Didn't know that either, did you? Webster's New World Dictionary. 7. 80% of all textiles, fabrics, cloth, linen, drapes, bed sheets, etc. were made from hemp until 1820s with introduction of the cotton gin. Very bad man that created the cotton gin. Number 8. The first Bibles, maps, charts, Betsy Rose's flag, the first draft of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were made from hemp. U.S. Government Archives. Check it out. 9. The first crop grown in many states was hemp. 1850 was a peak year for Kentucky, producing 40,000 tons. Hemp was the largest cash crop until the 20th century. State Archives. 10. Oldest known records of hemp farming go back 5,000 years in China, although hemp industrialization probably goes back to ancient Egypt. Imagine that. 11. Rembrandt's, Van Gogh's, Gainsborough's, as well as most early canvas paintings, were principally printed on hemp linen. 12. 1916, the U.S. government predicted that by 1940s, all paper would come from hemp and that no more trees need to be cut down. Government studies report that 1 acre of hemp equals 4.1 acres of trees. Plans were in the works to implement such programs. U.S. Department of Agriculture archives. Imagine that. Hearst had his way. And cut down trees because he owned a bunch of forests. 13 quality prints and varnishes were made from hemp seed oil. Until 1937, 58,000 tons of hemp seeds were used in America for paint products. In 1935, Sherwin-Williams Paint Company testimony before the U.S. Congress against the 1937 Marijuana Tax Act. 14. Henry Ford's first Model T was built to run on hemp gasoline, and the car itself was constructed from hemp. On his large estate, Ford was photographed among his hemp bills. The car, grown from the soil, had hemp plastic panels whose impact strength was 10 times stronger than steel. Popular Mechanics, 1941. Is this getting through to you yet, people? 15. 1938. Hemp was called billion-dollar crop. It was the first time a cash crop had a business potential to exceed $1 billion. Popular Mechanics, February 1938. 16. Mechanical Engineering magazine, February 1938, published an article entitled "The Most Profitable and Desirable Crop That Can Be Grown." It stated that if hemp was cultivated using 20th century technology, it would be the single largest agricultural crop in the U.S. and the rest of the world. Imagine that. The following information comes directly from the United States Department of Agriculture's 1942 14-minute film, encouraging and instructing patriotic American farmers to grow 350,000 acres of hemp each year for the war effort. When Grecian temples were new, hemp was already old in the service of mankind. For thousands of years, even then, the plant had been grown for cordage and cloth in China and elsewhere in the East. For centuries prior to about 1850, all the ships that sailed the West Seas were rigged with hempen rope and sails. For the sailor, no less than the hangman's hemp was indispensable. Now, with Philippine and Eastern Indian sources of hemp in the hands of the Japanese, American hemp must meet the needs of our Army and Navy as well as our industries. The Navy's rapidly dwindling reserves. When that is gone, American hemp will go on duty again. Hemp for mooring ships, hemp for tow lines, hemp for tackle and gear, hemp for countless naval uses both on ships and shore, just as in the days when old Ironsides sailed the seas victorious with hempen shrouds and hempen sails. Hemp for victory. Certified proof from the Library of Congress, found by research of Jack Heer, refutes claims of other government agencies that the 1942 USDA film Hemp for Victory did not exist. See, they tried to make it go away. Hemp's cultivation and production do not harm the environment. The USDA Bulletin number 404 concluded that hemp products 4 times as much pulp with at least 4 to 7 times less pollution. See, oil could go away. From Popular Mechanics, February 1938, it says, it has a short growing season. It can be grown in any state. The long roots penetrate and break the soil to leave it in perfect condition for the next year's crop. The dense shock of the leaves, 8 to 12 feet above the ground, chokes out weeds. Hemp, this new crop, can add immeasurably to American agriculture and industry. In 1930s, innovations in farm machinery would have caused an industrial revolution when applied to hemp. The single resource could have created millions of new jobs, generating thousands of quality products. Hemp, if not made illegal, would have brought America out of the Great Depression. Well, there must have been a reason. Here it is, the conspiracy. William Randolph Hearst, the tree man, Citizen Kane in the movie, and the Hearst paper manufacturing division of Kimberly Clark owned vast acreage of timberlands, and the Hearst company supplied most paper products. Patty Hearst's grandfather, a destroyer of nature for his own personal profit, stood to lose billions because of hemp. In 1937, DuPont, the artificial manufacturer of fabric, patented and processed to make plastics from oil and coal. DuPont's annual report urged stockholders to invest in its new petrochemical division, synthetics such as plastics, cellophane, celluloid, methanol, nylon, rayon, dracon, etc. could now be made from oil. Natural hemp industrialization would have ruined over 80% of DuPont's business. Andrew Mellon became Hoover's Secretary of the Treasury and DuPont's primary investor. He appointed his future nephew-in-law, Harry J. Anslinger, to head the Federal Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs. Secret meetings were held by these financial tycoons. Hemp was declared dangerous and a threat to their billion-dollar enterprises. For their dynasties to remain intact, hemp had to go. These men took an obscure Mexican slang word, marijuana, and pushed it into the consciousness of America. Do you see what's going on yet? Media manipulation. A media blitz of yellow journalism raged in the 1920s, 1930s. Hearst newspaper ran stories emphasizing the horrors of marijuana, and the menace of marijuana made headlines. Readers learned that it was responsible for everything from car accidents to loose morality. Films like Reefer Madness, 1936, Marijuana Assassin of Youth, 1935, and Marijuana, the Devil's Weed, 1936, were propaganda designed by these industrialists to create an enemy. Their purpose was to gain public support so that anti-marijuana laws could be passed. Examine the following quotes from The Burning Question, aka Reefer Madness. Violence, narcotic, acts of shocking violence, incurable insanity, soul-destroying effects. Under the influence of the drug, he killed his entire family with an axe. More vicious, more deadly than these soul-destroying drugs, heroin and cocaine, is the menace, marijuana. Reefer Madness did not end with the usual end. The film concluded with the words plastered on the screen. Tell your children. In the 1930s, people were very naive, even to the point of ignorance. The masses were like sheep waiting to be led by the few in power. They did not challenge authority. If the news was in print and on the radio, they believed it had to be true. They told their children, and their children grew up to be the parents of the baby boomers. Read the rest of the story here. July 19, 2010. See? I don't even have time to go over these films. Hemp for Victory, or Ford Hemp Car, which he made cars out of hemp. I mean, I can try. Let's see what happens.
Amongst the thousands of products made from hemp, one of the most extraordinary is Henry Ford's plastic car. Built in 1941, it contained cellulose fibers derived from hemp, sisal, and wheat straw. The plastic was lighter than steel, yet could withstand 10 times the impact without denting.
There you go. Well, that's all I have time for. Sorry about the end. It took a little longer to read the article than I wanted, but there you go. The same thing with oil today. They have to have oil. No, we don't. We can have hemp. I wish people would wake up, smell the fascism and the industrialization fascists who are running this country, and wake up. Until next time, this is Spellbinder with this very informative news article to wake you up that hemp is okay. Let's legalize it today. Be good at it. Good day.